So today we are going to attempt to make Pebernødder. Is that right?
Yeah.
Pebernødder?
Yeah.
I have my Danish judge with me. He's also going to be the one helping me bake today and the one who's going to tell me if in fact it tastes like real Danish Christmas cookies of Pebernødder. So stay tuned for that. Hi there and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kelly and I'm an American mom living in Denmark, and today we are going to try to make Danish Christmas cookies. And there are different types of Danish Christmas cookies, but the one that we are going to try today is Pebernødder. And these are little tiny little ball cookies. This is either going to be a really fantastic first experience making these cookies or something out of the Netflix series of Nailed It. We have our fingers crossed that it will not be like Nailed It, but we will nail it today. Okay. So first off, I am going to show you the recipe that we are working off of. This is one that my son was given when he was in daycare here at the Pebernødder here in Denmark. And so,
the judge.
Yeah, my son is the judge. But there are no instructions on really what to do. It's just written out by one of the daycare teachers of the ingredients that you need to have in here. I don't know if it's because people have a lot of experience making this kind of thing. I don't know. I've never made this before, so I'm going to try to go off of what it says here. And we're just going to have to see what happens. But my son has made them before in daycare and I think in school. I don't know if he remembers that. Maybe, maybe not. He says he does, but we'll have to wait and see once we get everything mixed together. So at the end of the video, I'm going to give you the recipe that I would recommend. Before we get started, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell to get notifications whenever I post new videos. And this is part of a series that I have about Christmas in Denmark. And in my video where I talk about 11 ways children celebrate Christmas in Denmark, I mentioned that I would try to make these Danish cookies. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'm going to put a link above so you can do that. All right, here we go. Okay, so we need 500 grams of butter. And to me, this sounds like a lot. And when we look at these packages of butter, I need, well, a lot. I need 2.5 of these. These cookies have a lot of butter in them, or I'm making a lot. We'll have to find out. But we need to take the 500 grams of butter, the sugar, which again is 2 cups, and then we need to have 2 tablespoons of syrup. And this is the type of syrup that we have in Denmark. We also have like maple syrup, but it's very expensive. And I would think since it's a Danish recipe, this is going to be good enough. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So now we're at the point where everything has been mixed together and I have no directions on what I'm supposed to do with this. And I guess I really just have to ask my boys. Do you guys know what it is you need to do?
Yeah. You have to make them 2 circles.
You have to make them into circles. Okay, so maybe and they have to be small circles?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just take some batter and then we'll roll them in. But you know what? I remember what Daddy said. I had asked Daddy about this, and he told me that we need to put all the dough out on this pan, and instead of making these little balls, he said what we have to do is make it into like a long kind of line.
Oh yeah.
And then we have to cut him into pieces. Okay.
Okay, long thing.
Okay, but I think we need to make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to put a little bit of flour in here so it doesn't stick.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Okay? So we're going to mix it up here. Okay, so we're gonna try and make this into a long worm. Does this look like what it needs to be? This long line?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and cut these into pieces, right? And then we're gonna put it on the baking sheet. Is that right?
Mhm. I think so. It's like
I wish there were directions with this.
It's some little squares.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they too big?
I can form them.
You can form them. Okay, so my boys are very sure that we need to roll these little pieces into circles. So that is what they are doing, and I completely believe what they tell me. Now, is Mommy saying that right?
Yeah.
Pebernødder. Do you have any like suggestions for how I could say it better?
Pebernødder.
Pebernødder.
I think it's fine.
You just need that
I need the Pebernødder.
Yeah, that's kind of better.
Oh.
Try to say no.
Nødder. Pebernødder.
Yeah.
Was that better?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot better.
Third time's a charm, or maybe 23rd? We have a lot of dough. I mean, we have a lot of dough.
And we just make a lot.
All right, so let's go put this in the oven. So we're ready with our first batch in the oven, and they're going to be in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. So we need to see what comes of those, and then we'll let you know if they actually taste like regular pebernødder. Okay, so this is our first batch, and as you can see, nailed it. Okay, we're gonna have to try another batch and figure out what we did wrong. Okay, so our first batch didn't turn out quite the way that we wanted to. It is not the easiest recipe, but then again, there are 3 of us making these now, because we added an extra brother. So what did we do when we run into a problem with this kind of thing? Well, we have to call the expert. So we called my mother-in-law and asked just what was wrong with our dough. And she suggested that we didn't have enough flour. So that's what we did. We added extra flour until it was a little bit easier to manage and it wasn't sticky anymore. So now we're going to try with this new batch to see if that makes a difference. We're going to do the same thing. Cut it into strips, kind of roll it out, and then cut it into small pieces where we're going to be making it into little balls. So let's try take 2. Okay, so here we go, round 2. Fingers crossed that these will actually turn out to be pebernødder when they're all done. Okay, so we are going to go over to the oven to check it out to see if they are looking better this time. Okay, so we are done with our pebernødder and they turned out quite wonderfully. We are so glad. And especially we're very glad for our phone a friend who told us that we did not have enough flour in. I don't know if the issue was because there were 3 of us baking and we lost track of how much flour was being put in, or maybe I just converted it wrong. So at the end of the video, I'm going to give you the recipe that I would recommend for both European measurements and American measurements. So you'll have to check that out if you want to make your own pebernødder. And yummy. We made quite a few of them. I cannot believe how many we made. Now we have enough to give to some of our neighbors or family members, or maybe even put in the freezer. So we have definitely enough pebernødder to last us the rest of December. Thanks for coming along and baking with us on this video. We really hope that you come back and experience a little bit more of a Danish Christmas with us. Thanks for being here. Merry Christmas, Glædelig jul, and take care.